best part of this whole movie was how little they got correct.
When it ended.
Well, that's it. No, just the whole story with her.
Oh, please, we're recording.
Okay.
Might as well.
Well,
All right. Hold that thought. Okay. We're back from Thor: Love and Thunder. 2 days removed due to audio issues, but you already knew that. Chase, you rude. I'm going to say rude.
Don't be rude.
Very rude. It's rude, and it should not be tolerated.
Professional. You're fired. I'm gonna give you such a slap. It's gonna be a good slap. It's gonna be the greatest.
It's gonna be the best slap.
The best slap ever. You're fired.
I'm sorry. You were.
Oh no! I was saying.
This is gonna be spoilers. So, take it away.
Well, you won't get any real spoilers from what I'm about to say.
Okay.
I remembered.
I'm gonna put these on so I can see.
Part of the storyline
of the Mighty Thor.
For Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor, and I went back because I knew something was very askew.
A myth.
Quite a myth. But the whole story with her was the only thing they got right was diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Thor was already off on his adventures, trying to fight and find and kill Gore the God Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
Mjolnir was on the moon.
Okay.
It was calling to her. She finally, I think she went to New Asgard and asked Heimdall to take her to the location. So Heimdall was never dead.
Ah, okay.
And the whole story with that was
I wonder
she
if
was
they
already a lost cause because
Stage 4.
she had a child, lost a child, had this, and in between all of that, I'm trying to remember if it was Odin's part or there was the sympathy part between Sif and Jane Foster, but Thor and Sif were back together.
Because I always
there
thought
was way too much stuff there. So the whole thing with Sif dying, well, maybe your arm's there. Yeah, what?
Oh,
maybe your arm's in Valhalla. But yeah, just
Swear to
a lot of it was just it was just sloppy writing. Sad jokes it didn't take. I like the vibrant colors though.
Let's just start at the beginning, like we normally do.
Yes.
And Dan will join us here shortly until maybe we might let him in here. You know, that was
it was too rude.
Yeah.
He's fired.
So the first like 2 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
I have gone on record now. It's on tape, or not tape. With some old school folks with this tape.
It's in the cloud.
I enjoyed Gore the God Butcher's backstory because I know the backstory, and I'm like,
yes,
that's without being too gruesome or gory or taking it a step further than they needed to.
Yeah,
they laid it out in a kid or general audience friendly way. Mm-hmm. The God that
it was his God, his deity.
Right. And in this, it helps because I got lost a little bit, but after the movie, I thought about it. So Zeus and all of them exist in this world. So they're like the center of everything. It's almost like any and every religion you've ever heard of or any myth or whatever.
Right.
They're all real. It's just Zeus. What was the place called?
Omnipotent City.
Yeah, it's like that's like their capital, like we have in D.C.
Right.
And it governs all the senators and the House of Republic.
You would go back to your hometown. The Greek gods would go back to Mount Olympus.
Yes.
The Norse gods would go back. Yeah, exactly.
So Zeus would be technically the president, and then it just breaks down from there.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, that god was a real D-bag. And I'm surprised that when they mentioned the symbiote god, they didn't say symbiote. And I liked how everything was in shadow, but it didn't have the venom it's supposed to.
Yeah.
The Necros sword is where that comes from.
Yeah.
So they got that part right, and it's just like, as soon as the Marvel Studios eye catcher, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
came and went off the screen, the whole movie fell off a cliff. That being said, the last time we tried to record this, big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. I love that movie.
Yes.
That's one of the Marvel movies I could watch all day, every day.
Oh.
Guardians 2, I didn't like so much. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. It was okay.
Yeah.
That's when I really started, because that was after I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, and I'm like, oh, God. And it's like, that's why I didn't see Thor Ragnarok. But later when it came out on home video, here, I bought it and watched it on the TV. And I love Thor Ragnarok. Ever since Guardians 2, I didn't notice it as much in Guardians 2, but Infinity War, I hated every single scene that the Guardians were in. Especially Groot, Rocket, and Thor. I didn't think that little building the hammer thing was funny. I don't think any of it was clever. The only thing that was clever was, oh, it's Peter Dinklage, and he ate a Mario mushroom. And it's just like going into Endgame. You know, I like Rocket. I like Nebula. They were good on their own. You got everybody back together in like the end of Endgame. There's Guardians of the Galaxy. And he's like, oh, we know who's in charge. That whole interaction did nothing.
Yeah.
So when they got to this, I was already prepared for it's going to be the same stuff. And it was the same stuff to 11.
Maybe this is their Spinal Tap.
So anyway, the Guardians are in it. All of the Guardians include... Well, Gamora's not in it.
Right. Where is Gamora?
Why is Gamora? Kraglin seems to get married wherever planet they go. That got a little bit of chuckle out of me, because I love Kraglin.
Yeah.
James Gunn's brother, of course. Sean Gunn? I believe it's Sean. Who's taking on the Yondu role. Yeah, the whole interaction with Thor and Peter Quill was just cringeworthy.
Yeah.
But they've set off on their own, figuring out the gods are dying, and Thor goes on his way, and they part ways, never to be seen in the movie again. And I was like, good riddance.
Yeah, Sean.
Sean, okay, good. And then Dan enters the room, who's a rude boy, don't you know?
After having been so rude.
Yep.
I hear you talking in there.
Very rude, sir. Talking about
For
Thor.
shame. For shame.
I thought you would rather have the door slammed than listen to Gene the whole time.
Oh, we don't mind.
He was conversing with Jean Grey. We have a whole... we were discussing Thor, Love, and Blunder. Dan.
I heard.
So I've just finished talking about the Guardians of the frickin' Galaxy.
Good time.
To go...
Rumor has it that scene was cut to a bare minimum because they cost so much.
They do.
Well, that's a lot of star power and just a small amount of screen time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to put makeup on for... And Nebula's like, hurry the hell up. That was good.
Yeah.
So, Korg and Thor...
And the goats.
So before the Guardians leave, the planet that they save wanted to give them... Yeah, that's subjective. Wanted to give them something in return for saving them. So they gave them Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder. Or one of them I called Beanstalker. I couldn't remember the names. And we discussed this on the car on the way back.
Yeah.
Those damn goats... It's almost like they're like, okay, so he's got goats in the comic books. What can we do to make it different? Have you heard of the screaming goats?
Let's do that.
And I believe also in the video before, I was like, Disney seems to have full rights to do this. And you will go see any movie they put out.
Because it says Marvel.
Just because it has Marvel on it.
It could be good. Tony Stark could be in it.
Their track record for Phase 4 would prove otherwise.
Yes. And I want to say it's mostly all Phase 4.
Well, I mean, everything... Because Spider-Man Far From Home was still Phase 3, but it was the prologue.
Yeah.
Well, the epilogue. Epilogue's the one after, right?
Yeah, prologue.
Anywho, they go back to New... I'm having... I zoned in and out between... and
Blind rage.
Yeah.
I can't watch the screen, but I'm hearing this stuff. What are you saying? What did they just say? No. No.
So
Maybe your arm is in Valhalla.
oh yeah, I was going. Yeah, they find the big snow beast god, and then they find Lady Sif, who's been gone since Phase 1, or Phase 2. Missing an arm. Maybe that's in Valhalla. That was.
You have to die to go to Valhalla.
That's what it. Oh, in battle. In battle. You have to die in battle to
Maybe your
go.
arm's there.
So they all go back to New Asgard, where
Valkyrie is king.
King Valkyrie
Yeah.
is going through the motions, and Meek is there taking minutes, and for no reason whatsoever, Mjolnir calls to Jane. We know why from earlier from Chase, why it happens in the comics, but it's just like, what was it? You have a Viking like card or something that Darcy's in this, which I audibly groaned when she came on screen. I'm like, oh, good, she's here.
One broke girl.
Yeah, one broke girl. While Padme was getting chemo, and I'm going to refer to her as Padme. Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't make it.
Are you going to play the Viking card?
Yes, play the Viking card, which I thought was ask Thor for help. No, it's just like I'm gonna read a book and call Mjolnir and just stand in the little orb and it's gonna, and it's still broken into pieces.
That's how it played out. That's how it played out as far as
Yeah.
The book. Oh,
The book called to her.
Yeah.
No, she was,
Not in the original storyline.
she was staring at the book and she opened the book to the right page and there's Mjolnir.
Well, that's how it happened. Well, maybe somebody had like a little fold in there.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fun part of the original storyline too.
You have to fold it.
Like Mad Comics.
Oh, got it! It worked! Yay!
Mad Comics. You just ruined your book.
And they fold into each other. Remember that from the movie? So, anywho, she's Lady Thor.
Mrs. Thor, the Mighty Thor,
And
Thunderpants.
was it
in some cartoons? Some of the comic books, Thunderpants.
Was it New Asgard? They were those beasts were attacking. That confused me because it didn't look like New Asgard. It didn't have like the cobble.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, Asgardian children. They kidnapped a bunch of children. Gore shows up. That was round one.
She wins.
Well, he disappears.
She doesn't lose.
He doesn't lose. And he takes the children as bait.
It's the dark dimension. The Shadow Realm.
And then that's when
Yu-Gi-Oh!
it's like we have to tell Zeus what's going on, and we'll raise an army.
Yes, raise an army.
So it's King Valkyrie and the Mighty Thor. Thor, I almost called him Korag. That's Power Rangers, Mystic Force. That's something completely different. God, what?
Korg.
Thank
Thor,
you.
Valkyrie, and Jane.
This movie pissed me off so much I had an aneurysm. So they get there and they have to wear a disguise for some reason because they're going to steal Zeus's thunderbolt.
No, that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was
This is the guy right here. You listen. He may be rude, but you listen. Come on, rude boy, tell him.
like I said, they're getting an army together, so they're going to appeal to them.
They wanted Thor to be a part of the crew.
They wanted Zeus to be a part of it.
Yeah, Zeus. They wanted Zeus to be
Can
part
we,
of it, or possibly the leader of the army.
Because
You're
Thor's-
like the head god here.
Because Thor's a fanboy.
I'm going to use a Ross. Yes. I'm going to do a Ross. We're going to put a pin in it.
Okay.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pin it. Yes.
For a second. Dan said something earlier
Uh-oh.
that unlocked something in my brain which I had buried.
Okay.
And it was that damn scene in the very beginning when they got to New Asgard, and it was the theater scene.
I hate those theater scenes. Just because.
And I was like, Dan, what are you talking about? What McCarthy? I'm thinking Jenna McCarthy. And I'm like, she wasn't in the movie. I would have noticed.
No.
No.
Melissa
It was
McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy
as Hella. And it, like I said, that part didn't really actually run with the storyline either, because the whole Mjolnir was a single hammer when Jane got it. So there was no crushy. But thank you for playing.
So I just wanted to mention they did the Thor Ragnarok scene in this movie like they did the Dark World scene in Ragnarok. Except this was a lot worse and it dragged on.
More
And she was in
painful.
it. Anyway, yes,
And the
Thor
call
was
to the Bifrost.
just glitter everywhere. So
Sons, I'm dying.
you were
To
right.
go.
Thor.
I don't feel so good.
We're not
Mr.
laughing
Odinson.
that the scenes were funny. We're laughing because the scenes are funny to laugh at.
Yes.
Yes, Thor is a fangirl. Oh, we call him a fangirl of Zeus. Zeus is the god of lightning. He's the god of thunder.
We should go together like peanut butter and jelly.
You got Zeus in my Thor. You got some Thor in my Zeus. However you want to take
So
that.
needless to say, Percy Jackson did not take the lightning.
He's in the very back of the nosebleeds like, hey.
That's my dad.
So they sneak in there with the intent to take Zeus's appeal to Zeus, and yeah, and it didn't go well. And Zeus decides to freely walk down the steps. Remember that part of the movie?
And that's Russell Crowe.
'Cause
He used
he-
to be a gladiator.
He walks out, stops, and does the profile, and then daintily down the steps with a skirt on, by the way. Flick.
Old toga.
You do see Chris Hemsworth's ass in this movie. And this movie is ass, so.
His name is Russell Crowe.
So he's like, please don't talk back to me. And then, like a little close scene, like, don't embarrass me in front of everybody else. The term orgy is thrown out in a Disney movie now
Yeah.
several
A couple
times.
times.
Do the Vince McMahon.
What's that?
Oh, don't no, we can't do the Vince. We can't do that anymore.
Can't say that word.
So he's going. They end up fighting guards, and Zeus is like, I'm gonna win this, and he throws his lightning bolt, and it hits Korg. And for half a second, back here was screaming, "You motherfucker!" But by the time it got here, it's like, this is the dumbest crap I have ever seen. I don't care. So Korg.
Down here.
So he doesn't die because apparently ever since post Phantom Menace, nobody dies by getting hit in the chest.
Nope.
Valkyrie, we'll get there. Korg,
Coulson.
Coulson, thank you.
Buckley to Zeus.
Spider, Tobey Maguire.
Zeus didn't die.
Yes, Zeus. Yeah.
Zeus didn't
And
die.
that was by a lightning bolt.
Zeus.
Lightning bolt.
So Korg is just a face, not even a head, just a rock face.
Yeah.
And they leave there. They got the lightning bolt. They kill Zeus. And then they have to go to the Dark Realm
Yep.
in order to stop...
Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm is in order to stop Gore from getting to eternity.
Yes.
Which is why Zeus wouldn't help, because he's like, he'll never get there. Well, it turns out the only way to get there is the Bifrost, which he needs Stormbreaker.
Yep. So we're bringing it right to him.
Yeah, we went right to him, and he got it. And then we had what I would equate to a Barney episode, where all the children got powers.
No, we're not there yet.
You know what? I'm butchering this.
You are. So first,
I give you the reins.
they battle.
Down to Africa.
God bless
they battle him in the Shadow Realm,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Jane decides we need to use the Bifrost to get out of here.
Mm.
So they open the gate. Everybody leaves,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he grabs onto the Bifrost.
That's
And
right.
he
That's right.
takes Stormbreaker away, and everybody else flies away. And somehow, as he opens the gate to eternity, then, after a nice pep talk from everybody, they find their way to eternity. Find their way to where the kids are. Like,
That's
how?
right.
What
That's
the heck?
An old black and white noir film.
Because it's a Shadow Realm. There's no color.
Yeah.
Except for-
Color is afraid to go in there or
Though,
something.
anytime that the light would change, you could see color on her armor or on the walls.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
That's... It should be grayscaled, sure, but that's definitely color right there.
Yeah.
everything the light touches.
He's awesome.
And then,
And then, after, like I said, we go back at Earth, and the Thor finds out about Jane's,
cancer, yeah,
Cancer.
stage 4.
and that the hammer is draining her, and if she touches it one more time, she'll die.
Sorry, the way you phrased that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dear, touch my hammer no more. You'll
She'll
die.
die. So she stays in bed.
So basically, she had a green candle that was burning over in the corner. Thank you for getting that. Sorry, go ahead. I wonder what it popped in my head. I'm like, I have got to get this out of my head, but go ahead.
Yeah. So Thor finally randomly grabs the Thunderbolts and can somehow
And manipulate that to fly.
No, he
teleported.
Yeah.
Oh.
He took this weird yellow egg around him,
Oh.
and he's gone.
Yeah. He
But-
must have read the manual. I understood the assignment.
I missed the part
Nerd.
where Valkyrie gets stabbed by the sword that has killed all the gods before her,
Yep. Yep.
and because they get her back to Earth somehow, she's fine.
And they run jokes all around it. Justice for Qui-Gon.
Yeah. And then we get to the scene of Thor talking to what's his name, son?
Heimdall.
Heimdall's son, Axel.
Who throughout the entire kidnapping thing can vision walk Thor to them so he could joke about them all dying the entire, like, 3 times.
And not meeting your heroes.
And not meeting your heroes.
Because you don't want to meet your heroes. But, so,
So he takes the lightning bolt, and that's when he's like, these kids shall be worthy temporarily.
by the power of Thor.
By the power of...
Yeah, and they all the...
We could take this selfie stick. Just something, a rock they randomly found.
And this Dinah.
Hey. Or if he hadn't been introduced
And this
yet.
big sippy cup.
She's an Abandosaurus. She was behind the Dollar General and I saved her.
Okay. And
So it's like...
a rescue dinosaur.
She's a rescue dinosaur. A rescuesaurus. So basically the kids were just beating the crap out of these... They're not symbiote. They're just creatures.
Shadow creatures. Yeah.
Shadow creatures. And one of them is just flithering around like a butterfly.
Yep.
Not...
With the magic wand, because she's like a princess.
Yep. She was a princess.
And she sliced one.
No, she was just... Every time they showed her, she was just dancing around.
I thought she had one.
Did she have one?
With the,
Yeah,
with
the one
with the
the
wand.
princess one, yeah.
That's why they're taking over.
He's like, blind rage. Didn't see it.
Didn't see
Didn't
it.
happen.
Didn't count.
Pitches or it didn't count.
Frothing at the mouth. I don't remember that.
But then Thor and the God Butcher have another showdown.
Well, he was trying to free... Oh, no. I'll shut up now.
And the kids get free because the Stormbreaker gets free from the Shadow Realm.
Sure.
Shadow hands.
The Shadow Hands are holding it, yeah.
And then Jane shows up after they had this... Promising, yeah. You come back to me. She wouldn't turn into Lady Thor again, or the Mighty Thor.
It's gonna kill you.
Lady
And
Thor it is.
It'll kill her, and then she shows up, and Thor's like, the fuh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Yes. Yes, exactly. The THOR.
whole
That's his whole movie. The THOR. Yes. Yes, Thor. Yes. Now I'm on board with you.
Well, they think they've won. They're talking to each other, and the other guy is laying right beside them. 2 seconds later, they turn around, and he's through the portal on the other side of the room.
Literally, they turn around and it's like, whoomp. It's like gone. And then they did go through it. It just envelops around them
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
They-
whatever reason.
They didn't move. They stayed in the same spot, and all of a sudden, we're in that shiny room.
And she had broken Mjolnir because she snapped the symbiote sword, but it was trying to Mjolnir itself back together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she caught pieces of it in Mew Mew and broke Mew Mew and the rest of the pieces of the Necronomicon sword.
Yeah.
So no more Comic-Con sword.
No more Comic-Con.
So it means no more no more Mighty Thor. So she's there dying.
Yep.
And Thor's in between the two of them. I'm jumping in when I remember. Like, I know this part.
So he.
I saw the guy talking to the thing. It's like, hey, my wish. Oh, great Tremont.
I will say, before he did walk through and all this happened, I did turn to you and I'm like, that's not. Because it did look like Galactus.
Yes.
Because I'm like, tell me this is not how you're introducing Galactus into the... So, it's fine.
We're all
ahead.
good there.
Yep. For now.
For now.
Yeah, so Thor didn't even stop him from changing his mind. He said, make your wish. You've already killed.
Yeah. It's like, I double dog dare you.
I don't care.
There should have been like a frozen pole there. It's like, I triple dog dare you.
I was about
Trying to pull gore off of it. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then he makes his wish to get his daughter back, who's now the daughter of eternity. Is that what they're calling her?
Born from eternity.
Born from eternity, yes.
Yes.
And then he dies. And then Jane dies.
And then Thor is the guardian of the child.
Somehow.
She dies.
Jane.
In his last breaths, Gore says, take care of her.
Okay.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
protect her. So
And
that's-
Jane's
that's
like,
why
she
they
will.
Yeah.
So
That's my job.
there's nothing after that. It hard cuts to him making pancakes for her.
Yeah.
Flap cakes.
No, I'm
Or
sorry.
pan flaps.
It hard cuts back to New Asgard where Valkyrie's back
Oh, yeah.
in some better shape. Sif is training Heimdall's son with one arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Her one arm. He's got both.
And all the kids.
Yeah, all the kids start training.
the poop cherry on this entire shit Sunday is Korg is all back together.
Somehow.
And he's got a significant other named Dwayne because they're made of rocks. And they have a little child.
Named Johnson.
You don't know that.
Okay. I was like,
I know what they were inferring.
If they said that I did have an aneurysm because I don't remember that. Because as soon as it's like, his name is Dwayne, and then Dan's like, hey, The Rock, and I'm like,
Dan, I swear to Christ.
that's exactly what I told him. And I was like, do not.
Special guest in the next movie.
No, Saturday Night Live. And Dwayne.
Hold your hands over the lava with me.
That's how you make a Korg or a
Korg
Korg
baby.
species baby.
Yep.
You hold hands over some lava for a week or a couple days or overnight, and out pops a magical rock baby.
Yeah.
And then Thor's making pancakes. You will eat those. I don't like pancakes. How do you know you never had them? Blah, 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 blah. So I thought he was getting her ready for school.
That was the thought process for me as well. It's like, she's going to have some semblance of normalcy. Let's do this, kids.
So the door opens and she's got Stormbreaker. He's got Mjolnir.
Somehow.
Process what I just said. She's got Stormbreaker. He's got Mew Mew. And they jump up in the air like the beginning of a Ninja Turtles movie.
Turtle boys, don't cut 'em no slack.
And then you get the title. For the rest of their days, that duo, the Thor father figure and the daughter, love and thunder. The end! Or so we thought. Or so we thought. During the previews of this movie, the first one with Idris Elba, I went, that's coincidence, right? And Chase was like, nah. 2 previews later, Idris Elba shows up again. I'm like, he's definitely in this movie. He's in the movie. He welcomes Padme to Valhalla, which is its own little universe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
like
Loki died
one of the
in
layers
battle
of-
fighting Thanos. He didn't go. So is this like?
I think it was supposed to be. He's not his guardian.
Neither was she.
She's writing blood.
I get that too.
I'm just thinking ahead that
How'd she get as guardian blood?
You
Don't
know how
say,
she got
hoorah! Get it? No.
You know.
a little bit of Mew Mew in my life.
How'd you get it? It was written in the script.
Yep.
I just had a bad
She
feeling.
had no other place to go.
That's true.
I just have this bad feeling that Valhalla is going to be just like this, like out here. Like if Disney's ever in a pinch, they can go, oh, God, I wish we hadn't done that. Well, technically, they're in Valhalla.
There was always,
You know what I mean?
there was a storyline, and I'm trying to remember if it was a kid's version of Thor, to where you actually had Odin came down, found the maiden that he loved or wanted.
Winch. Oh, I thought you were going to say
Well,
winch.
either way, that he wanted. And she was actually, see, the whole storyline is Thor is a demigod. Just
Answer it on camera.
Just like a lot.
It's your best friend.
Oh, don't answer it on camera.
Yes, 2 large pepperoni, one with black olives.
Extra ants.
But yeah, like I said, every extra ants. But no, Thor,
You haven't heard that story.
Thor was a demigod.
Right.
Right, just like every.
That's
other,
the word I was looking for. They're
just
all
like-
demigods,
they're all
but
demigods. Zeus, full blood god.
which is probably why he didn't die.
Exactly.
But why didn't Valkyrie?
And Valkyrie, in her own right, was not a god at all.
Nope.
Right.
So,
She's a warrior.
Dufa. So yeah, it's just some weird stuff. Like I said, the storyline is so skewed.
Yep.
But like I said, with that, there was a way, like I said, outside to come from the other, to cross the Rainbow Bridge to Valhalla.
Right.
So there's always been
A way to get there
a
or
way
back.
to get there. Like I said, even Babylonian, the Tower of Babel. We can build a tower to heaven. There is supposed to be an ongoing struggle
The air's getting
between,
really thin up here.
between humans and gods.
Right.
So like I said, it was supposed to be the deities. The best known. I would
best of the
assume
best.
it would be demigods and gods who fought and died in battle.
Right.
Would
I
make
mean,
it
it would.
would make it to Valhalla, and it was always the warrior class.
Well, let me ask you this: did you ever see Eternals?
No,
Did you?
should I?
How the hell? No, I haven't seen the damn.
No,
I'm not watching it.
should I?
How do they fit into all? Because aren't they gods?
Yes. Well, they're the beginning of time.
Oh, fuck off, man.
It's just like the Watchers. They're just around, checking on things, making a list, checking it twice.
So I had a thought.
It's always dangerous.
At the very end, the last end credit scene was Thor talking to. Oh, that's Paramount. Talking to somebody. He's getting tended to by his winches. I don't know better.
No, Zeus. Okay, you said Thor.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Zeus!
There's the parlay between Zeus and Hercules.
Yes, Hercules shows up for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And he's like, aye, aye, sir.
And the funny thing is, Hercules is Zeus' son. Another demigod.
I thought this was a Disney movie. Why can't you go off of the Dwayne joke and have him be Hercules?
Right?
He's already played it. I'm glad I don't even have to show you what I'm showing him. And you know exactly. This was a good movie.
Yeah.
I actually went because this was the week before Guardians of the Galaxy, and I wanted to see the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer on the big screen. That's the only reason I went to see this movie. That's the only reason. I swear to God.
I've spent more money for less.
Yes.
Because Dwayne Johnson's working for DC.
Oh, it's true. I think he's under contract still.
It's just Black Adam hasn't come out yet.
And well, that's the thing.
They showed that preview before.
Sometimes your contract will say you can't do anything for the other side.
Well, this
He's worked for Disney many times.
It doesn't mean anything to Ryan Reynolds.
Right. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, that was. It was just a thought. So.
Would have been cool, but yeah. But like I said, I think it's cool simply because it's demigod versus demigod, and they did run that storyline in the comics. Hoo-ha! God, I'm old.
Because I know what you're talking about.
It was actually done on paper, Dan. Crispy vellum. What?
You want to have some real fun?
As well as a frog Thor and a horse-faced Thor. So
I know the frog one. I don't know the
I
frog.
can dispel all belief.
I am so glad you said that.
Yes.
Where is Bay Tom Ray Bill?
Yeah.
Yep.
He showed up in Thor Ragnarok. Did you miss it? Yes, he did. I saw his eyes going.
Did he? Yeah.
He didn't, but his head did. Yes.
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 When it was like the 4 champions, it was Hulk and he.
3.5 champions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just a egg.
But no, you want to have some real fun right now?
Sure.
Check this out. Rate it. He's like,
rate what?
I mean,
Ragnarok?
No.
At least a 7.5, 8.
Love and yeah, that's easy. Love and Blunder. What's your score?
I'll go with 4. I know it's a little high, but it did have some. It had.
You'd
moments.
have to be high.
It had a few good moments. So I'll go with 4.
Few good moments.
Yeah.
And there's also a movie called A Few Good Men,
Yeah.
and they went to see this movie.
You're
looking at him!
Handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
Tall order.
It's
Small fry.
yes.
Kids will love it.
Yeah, kids.
Oh wait, what did Josh think of it?
Yeah.
I think for him it was a movie. So like I said, it's a lot. Like I said, if you don't know the whole storyline,
Yeah.
like that's for me. Like I said, growing up reading the comics, the whole there was no introduction whatsoever. And the thing is, if you're gonna call one man Bruce Banner and tell a story about the Hulk and how it all happened, they made no mention of Donald Blake being a doctor because Thor cast him out of Asgard. They made no mention of Jane Foster being a nurse, not a freaking scientist trying to figure out, well, what's this a space anomaly? She was never meant to be that.
It worked the cosmic crap into.
Oh, you had to. But yeah, that's the only way you can.
It was the back doorway to get Natalie Portman into the movie.
Oh, the back door, Nanny Portman.
So that was 4 out of 10, right? Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, wait,
4 out of 5 stars. Yes.
Don't you dare. You shut
Your
your
whore
whore
mouth.
mouth. I would give it a 3.
Okay.
And the only reason I give it a 3 is because I liked the visual that they put out there. And for like I said, it was a pretty movie. I liked,
oh yeah, that's yeah.
Like I said, I liked. For me, it was somewhat akin to watching a Peter Jackson. Well, I'm just saying the
Hobbit stuff.
Right. Like I said, when you watch the original Lord of the Rings stuff, and they, like I said, just the overhead pan into the Elven city.
Rivendell.
Beautiful. Light shining, green's green, bright yellows, light gold, everything. The whites are white. Like I said, everything was, it appeared to
vibrant.
Be perfect. Vibrant. The vibrant color. I like that. Now.
But when the effects were bad, you noticed them.
Yeah. But like I said, just.
Like a color trainer in the Dark World.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of takes you awry. I didn't understand the whole it was almost like the whole snap of a finger visual for the changing of standard clothes. The whole Superman thing.
Yeah.
This is you now, and then I've got a job to do. Boom. Now,
And
like I said, I like the vibrant colors of the new outfit just because they're colorful. The funny thing,
the gold, red, and blue
Here's-
really worked on Thor.
yeah, well, here's the story that gets me. She has Mjolnir.
Okay.
Good old Mew Mew.
Right.
She has Mjolnir. She transfers herself from weak, cancer-ridden Jane Foster to Lady Thor.
Right.
She has the original colors, the black and the silvers, and the cape,
Right.
silver helmet. Now, what was Thor wearing when he first got Stormbreaker? Why did his outfit change? That's, for me, that's a continuity thing.
Oh yeah.
So, like I said, it was the whole, like when he met his mother. Like I said, even that was just the cinematography and everything, just the colors and the buildings. I like what they can do with non-earthly realms. Because this is what we see here. You have to have some kind of
Above and
imagination.
beyond.
Well, you think about it. When he first got Stormbreaker, he was still wearing the crap he had.
Mm-hmm.
In Endgame, we only saw him as Bro Thor, which is what the official.
Grobowski.
And he had, because he had the Gimli kind of beard braided down, but the suit was different. But he had Mjolnir and
Couldn't fit in it.
but he had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. So now, shouldn't he look like he would? Well, no, because he had that outfit before Stormbreaker. So I guess this technically is the Stormbreaker outfit.
I mean,
We're trying to make apples.
You're trying to make heads or tails out of this. Well, like I said, if it's just because it's the only thing who's responding to. Like I said, if it's a standalone, this is going to be your weapon. I guess would have to give him something. I didn't necessarily believe that.
But he gave it away.
Well, I know, yeah. Well, I was saying you wouldn't think that that a weapon would give you your outfit.
And-
Superman kept his stuff tucked into a pocket in his cape.
And the little girl who was Love,
Didn't get any armor.
Gore's daughter, is actually Chris Hemsworth's daughter in real life. Come to find out.
Cash grab.
That's right.
Exactly what the text said. Cash grab. And all I got out of this one was, oh, that's interesting. And I'm like,
No,
you had
it's
the exact enthusiasm I have. I'm like, oh, well, hey guys, guess what?
It's an interesting thing that it would be that. And like I said, it's like, oh well, what did Chris get for this movie?
Yeah, I like that text.
Let's just say it was $6 million, $7 million, $12 million, whatever that is. You add 12.5 because you can pay your child up to $12,500 tax free. America, go out there, hire your kids, hide your money.
Hide your kids, hide
Hide
your
your
wife. So 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Would I buy it out the bargain bin at the store?
No. If they were full of nothing but Thor, Love, and
If they
Thunder,
were
we'd have
giving
a
them-
bonfire.
If they were giving them away with oxygen tanks at the end of the world,
I give this a 1 out of 10.
Bum, bum, bum.
The only reason is because I saw. Remember when he's trying to secretly or whatever get Mjolnir back,
Colin, yeah,
and Stormbreaker comes in front of us
like a jealous woman, just thinking about you.
I saw that clip before,
Yes.
sitting right here when they released it. It was an official clip. I was like, let me want to see the movie. So that's the clip I saw, and I'm like, that's funny. So yes, 1 out of 10.
Everything around it was not.
No.
Would you like your money back? Absolutely.
This movie is not worth the money the ticket was printed for. Or on.
I feel sorry for the trees in the Brazilian rainforest.
But thanks to a good patron that works at that movie theater, we knew which line was cash and card, cash and just card.
Well, it's fine.
There are 3 lines here. 3 lines. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at them. Yes, there are 3 lines. I concur, sir. I concur.
Why is it going so slow? There we go. The movie's shit and you shouldn't like it. Let's move on to something else.